What's up? Welcome back to the Uncarved Block. Today, we are going to look at something that was brought to my attention. John Gleason, also known as the Godless Engineer, has taken upon himself to rat people out that he thinks are transphobes. So in this video, we're going to look at what initially caused him to do that, and then the comments on his post, and then we'll address his claim that he does not platform transphobes. Imagine, how does somebody that talks to Christians not platform transphobes? In July of 2025, an event called NaNoCon was held in Nashville, Tennessee. Speakers were composed of well-known and not so well-known representatives of atheism. Among them was Elliot Martin, known online as Secular Rarity. He's been able to get noticed by getting sloppy seconds after Matt Dillahunty left the Atheist experience. Here he can be seen contemplating what his penis would look like in Forrest Valkai's mouth. On, I think, Saturday night of the event, many attendees and speakers were in a bar. There was a woman, also a YouTuber, we'll call Nani, at the bar, and allegedly she and Elliot were flirting and possibly fondling each other. By all accounts, they left the bar together. It's afterwards that is in dispute. Nani was found at the bottom of a set of stairs. She was in distress, and those who found her took her to her room where her sister was present. She claimed Elliot threw her down the stairs and choked her. I'm not sure what order those two things occurred. Someone with whom I was unfamiliar with made a series of videos concerning this alleged event. His name is Jay, and his channel is PocketLocker86. I'll link to the video that shows receipts concerning this issue. What I do know is Elliot said to believe Nani. The hilarity of this situation is if any woman made this accusation against the maggot, they would wholeheartedly believe her. But they didn't. They instead support Elliot. This can be seen here in an exchange between Nani and her sister. The goobers on the line and or elsewhere were laughing about this situation. A person named Drew Beckius created a post for everyone to submit their opinion, and one of those was my buddy, Arden Hart, seen here doing, I have no idea. Arden is the dumbest person on the line, and I'm not sure why anyone respects his opinion. He takes after his daddy, Matt, and acts like an entitled, arrogant twat when anyone challenges his ideology. But here, he demonstrates how manly he is. He takes the side of the man and says Nani deserved it. I'll do my best to imitate Arden's deep voice. I just want to second everything said here by blank. I was also at the table and witnessed everything alongside her, and my recollection was exactly the same. I haven't been following the fallout super closely after the fact, but that's what I saw. I would probably have believed and taken Nani's word for it if I hadn't witnessed what I did myself. Again, just imagine this was a maggot man saying this. How do you think they would react, those flying monkeys of the atheist community? I replied, stating the fact that Arden is a man and is acting like one, and as expected, was immediately attacked by the flying monkeys Jay talks about. Godless Engineer, John Gleason, aka the love child of Richard Carey and Dillamonkey, was a Facebook friend of mine up to this point. He made a post calling me out. We are going to examine some of their responses to me and how spurgy their position is. First, the claim Arden is a she. This cannot be confirmed objectively. This is a subjective claim. I can, however, demonstrate Arden is a man. As I state here, my pronouns are sex-based, as they are with all animals. Virtually all atheists agree humans are animals. I ask why their position is unassailable. No response. I also stated that I don't police my friend's language, and GE denied it. I also challenged him to debate me, but these guys are cowards. They only debate when they control the mute button. GE has also stated on several occasions that he does not platform transphobes. This is easily exposed for the lie it is. He has platformed the following persons. Kent Hovind. Not only did he debate him, but then did a review of the debate, thus platforming him at least twice. Wi-Fi Gospel and Bryce J., both conservative Christians. I'm not sure of Bryce, but Wi-Fi is associated with the Think Institute, hosted by Joel Sedekase. Guess who debated Sedekase? GE. On their website, the Think Institute makes their position clear. What's it say? Gender. Men and women are different and made to fit together in a special way to have children. The differences between these designs of male and female bodies is an important part of God's plan. That plan is that males identify them as male and females identify themselves as female. This applies both in terms of how they think of themselves as well as how they express themselves outwardly. Outward expression will be shaped both by nature and by culture. However, cultural expression does not and must not eliminate the distinction between male and female expression. It is wrong to try to change your sex or, quote, gender, the outward presentation of your maleness or femaleness, and they cite biblical scripture to back their claims. They also look at sexuality and consider homosexuality immoral. But did Godless not know that conservative Christians would have these positions? Oh, here's another, Rob Noor. Rob has skillfully used the WTF files against trans ideology, and Godless debated him, platforming a transphobe. Jonathan McClatchy, surely he's a TRA. Made by Jim Bob. This is the best because it demonstrates GE is a coward. Jim Bob told him to order his wife, who was overheard insulting Jim Bob, to shut up. Mr. Gleason ran. Dude, if someone told me to do that to my wife, I'd at least cuss them out before I left. Godless is so brave. Just ask him. He'll tell you. GE platforms transphobes when he co-hosts on other channels. Then he will clip the exchange and post it on his channel. So again, platforming transphobes more than once. He will often claim he didn't know they were transphobes, but this is an ignorant comment coming from someone so active in the discussion. What are the odds a person is a conservative Christian and against trans ideology? Very high. In fact, I'd love to see if anyone could present a conservative Christian that supports trans ideology. But GE will play dumb just for clicks. If he wants to adhere to his standards, he should ask each interlocutor what their position is. If they say trans women are men, then he could hang up on them or not debate them. But he won't because he's looking for clicks and views and would soon exhaust his entire pool of available interlocutors. Returning to the comments calling me out, we can see that they're mainly insults with no logical argumentation. And this is from the community that touts themselves as having reasonable arguments for their positions. Here, I even point this out. What do I get? A GIF. Quality responses. And yes, I know the creator of GIFs calls them GIFs, but sorry, they're graphic interface something. So it's a G. They cannot explain why calling someone pronouns based on their sex is bigotry, just that it is. It's like they want me to call a person white when they are actually black. Usually, when I ask someone to define transphobic, they run. Here, however, someone does. Having or showing discrimination against, aversion to, or fear of transgender people. You using the wrong pronouns shows discrimination or that you're being an ass to be an ass. To which I replied, cool. I do not discriminate. I treat them like everybody else. My pronouns are sex-based. Why are they allowed to police my language? I'm not averse to them. I used to work with one side by side virtually every day. We talked, we laughed, and certainly no fear. No, I'm not being an ass to be an ass. I'm tired of women's spaces in sports being invaded. I'm tired of children being transitioned. I'm tired of others telling me how to use my language. I'm tired of people saying that if you don't want to date a trans-identified man, then you're a transphobe. I'm tired of trans people criticizing gays that aren't into them when they're the wrong sex. So no, get off your high horse. You don't get to think you're better than me if you support all that. Another just asserted that it was not respecting people's gender identity. Again, how is sex-based pronouns wrong, let alone bigotry or transphobia? I'm sorry, I respect a person's right to believe whatever they want, as long as it doesn't infringe on the rights of me or others for whom I'm concerned, but I don't have to respect beliefs in and of themselves. I also asked what is gender, and they didn't answer, because they can't. They are perfectly willing to attack the beliefs of religious persons all the time. Why don't they respect a person's religious identity? One woman, maybe it's so hard to tell, responded, "There's no need for me to police the spaces she shares with other women and men." Another added, I'm entitled. That's rich, since they literally support men who think they are entitled to use women's spaces and compete in sports against females. She, again, maybe, who knows, said women are fine with men in the restrooms. For whatever reason, even though I'm heterosexual, she added, "Also, I promise trans women are not interested in your dusty ass either. This is the same vibe as homophobic men whining about, I just don't want gay men hitting on me. Like, boo, please stop flattering yourself." Well, not to boast, but in the 80s, men hit on me all the time. I just bluntly told them I was straight, no biggie. I've been supporting gay rights since before most of these oafs were born, or at least in diapers. They're late to the party. But are women fine with trans women in their spaces? Let's show ones that aren't. Enjoy.
We stand on the edge of a whisper, our voices trapped deep and so low, but the words now rise like the oceans and the sadness that only we know. Woman, adult, human, female, not hard to define, but they twist and turn, they blur the line. Women's dignity discarded, our rage begins to build a tidal wave they can't conceive. Let women speak, let the truth ring clear. We've been shouting, but they refuse to hear. Breaking the silence, breaking the spell. We are the women, we're raising hell.
I actually asked this question. I actually shared that screenshot in a group. And you know what women said? When I said, "Do you want me to stop trying to defend women's right to their spaces in sports?" Here are some responses I got. "No, it's not wrong. As a woman, I really appreciate your support in the fight for our rights. Trans rights activists always like to tell people they aren't allowed to have their own beliefs or feelings and share them. Yet somehow they expect to enforce their beliefs on others. Keep speaking up. Please keep speaking up. We need all the help we can get. Thank you." No, it's not wrong. Everyone should speak about this issue because it does affect everyone. The impacts are most obvious on women, but it affects men too when everyone is expected to lie about the basic facts of life. It's great that you care about the rights of other people. This is how society is supposed to work. Not at all. Most women would appreciate your support. I could go on and list these women for days. The trans cult does not care about their position, only the position of men who dress as women. It was nice I was getting support. I wonder if GE called my supporters out as well. To wrap this up, the cult defended Elliot, the alleged graper, without showing receipts. Elliot stated we should believe Nani. Sadly, I did not screenshot that. I think it's in one of Pocket Locker's videos or the Drew Beckius post. However, as you can see, no one disagreed with me claiming it. Here's something else I typed. A guy who goes by secular Rarity was accused of tossing a woman down the stairs and choking her at NaNoCon. He has stated if she claims it, we should believe her. Logically, that means he is admitting to tossing her down the stairs and choking her. But these asshats are all upset because I called a man, and this man drew first blood by insulting me in a conversation where I was civil and never insulted him. But secular Rarity admits to SA, and they continue to support and platform him. So imagine, worried more about language policing than a guy that admits SA. That's who pretty much all the people in this thread are like. This moron added a question to their GIF. When was anyone accused of SA? Well, gee, I guess you need to go back and read Nani's comments to her sister. I responded, oh, you want to be pedantic. Does that mean it doesn't matter if it was just assault? You guys are disgusting. Just to make sure everybody saw it, I placed this in the main thread, as Facebook has screwed up their system for a long time and we don't see all comments. I asked them, tell me where this argument fails. Secular Rarity said we should believe Nani. Nani said he tossed her down the stairs and choked her. Therefore, we should believe SR tossed her down the stairs and choked her. If that argument stands, then you guys are disgusting. Don't like me without knowing me? Fine. But continue to support Secular Rarity and anyone else that does. You guys are morally vacuous. You can tell they had no response to this. These logical morons that will sit and tout their superior reasoning in the face of theistic arguments could not respond to this argument. I used to be like many atheists. I listened to shows such as the Atheist Experience Weekly and supported debates they had with believers. But I'm a nuanced thinker. I realize this gender ideology is wrong, and the atheist cult is embedded in it so deeply you cannot question it. This unassailable position is held by those who would likely otherwise claim to be free thinkers. I know of several others that agree with me that are in the atheist community, but they have trusted me with this information. Unlike them, I don't need the support of these sheep. I think for myself and can demonstrate that I've changed my opinion when presented with evidence. They present none. They assert. I can demonstrate trans-identified men are just as much as a threat as cis men, but they refuse to address that. I'm betting at least some of these morons held believe her signs, but now they're just as gullible as the religious persons they regularly insult. What have we learned? That John Gleason, Godless Engineer, will virtue signal and say he doesn't platform transphobes, but he does. That the atheist cult will support men over women. Arden Hart is a man. The atheist cult cannot defend their trans ideology. They can only insult. That women actually do want to keep trans women out of their spaces in sports. The online atheist community will support a man over a woman when SA has been alleged. While I was creating this, I found an old video that demonstrates how pathetic Gleason and his wife are. I'll link to it in the description. Enjoy. Take care. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Even if you want to insult me, I don't care. And have a pleasant tomorrow.